Senegal had France rattled for 45 minutes, yet the French still ran out 3-1 winners. So how did the Lions of Teranga completely smother France in the first half? And what was the tactical switch that flipped the entire game on its head after the break? Let's break this two-faced match down right now. From the opening seconds, the best side in Africa looked confident and at ease on the ball. Mane sets the tone with a rainbow flick over Olise, straight from kickoff. Inside 30 seconds, the tone is set. For head coach Mbappé, the plan is clear. Win the battle against France's first line in midfield. That's exactly why Idrissa Gueye keeps stepping up behind Dembélé, who's operating as a number 10 through the middle. By stepping in front of that first line, Gueye breaks down Rabiot's man-marking job on Camara. The Senegalese number 10 is meant to create the danger in front of France's back line, and to free him from Rabiot, Senegal repeatedly used Jackson's hold-up play to slip Camara into space. Jackson pins both center-backs and both French pivots, springing Camara into the gap facing forward. That lets them find Mane on the left, who releases the overlapping left-back in behind to whip across into the box. But thankfully for France, Theo Hernandez clears the danger. When France have the ball, Tchouaméni drops between the two center-backs, while Koundé pushes up the inside channel and waves Olise as wide as possible, right out to the touchline. Olise drags a cluster of Senegalese players toward the wing, which opens the middle and lets France try to feed Koundé in behind, but the pass isn't accurate. Senegal's press is packed into central areas, with 5 players choking off France's build-up, so France try to go around it through Olise, but Olise also struggles against the aggression of the left back, who never lets him turn and play forward. To shake the marker and bring some balance centrally, Olise starts drifting inside to create an extra man inside Senegal's first pressing block. The idea is to push that first line back and give the defenders a bit more room. But it doesn't change anything about France's central buildup, because the moment Olise receives and tries to force it forward through the middle, he gets swarmed and loses the ball easily. And even when France do move the ball quickly, Senegal's block is incredibly compact, the lines tight, choking off every space for the French attack. The Blues' only outlet is to rotate and open a pocket at the edge of the box for Dembélé to try his luck from distance, but the shot is blocked. The reality is that France simply can't get inside the opposition box or generate any danger there. On the other side, Senegal have a genuinely clever plan. First, they flood the left flank with bodies to drag France's block over there. Then they completely switch the play to find right-back Diatta on the opposite touchline, bypassing the entire defensive block. And they do it again and again, going to Diatta on the right to pull Doué across and open the space behind him for Mbappé. France's defensive and attacking midfielders are slow to react, which lets Gueye thread Sarr in behind the French defense and ratchet up the pressure around France's box. France, meanwhile, are still struggling to move the ball forward. And whenever Mbappé is found between the lines, he loses it easily under that pressure and aggression. With a 2 versus 1, Senegal win it back comfortably and immediately spring the counter. Jackson is sent through and beats Upamecano one-on-one with a step-over to get his shot away. It's parried onto the post, rebounds off Mane's foot, but drifts just wide. That was a huge let-off for France. Senegal's threat keeps building down the right, with triangles and quick combinations, especially with Idrissa Gueye surging forward to support Sarr. From the 30th minute on, right-back Diatta starts getting the better of Doué, particularly when the play switches from left to right and leaves him isolated in a one-on-one he keeps winning. That lets Senegal use their overload to play their triangle football, but the move breaks down. Same story moments later, when Diatta again rolls Doué and bursts inside to release Sarr in behind. But a lightning recovery from Saliba bails France out. For France, getting through the middle is impossible, so they're hemmed onto the flank and forced into awkward attempts to cross. Even on the break, the timing is off, like the move where Dembélé's pass goes astray and is gobbled up by the defender. Look at the frustration on his face. Senegal, on the other hand, keep mixing up their attacking patterns. On this next move, Diatta is well shut down by Doué, while Rabiot cuts off the inside lane to stop the right-back driving central at speed. So Camara peels into the free space behind Rabiot to receive. And once again, France are caught out. Camara accelerates to release Mane on the left. Up against Olise, the African champion plays a 1-2 with the left back to get in behind the Bayern man and use his pace to burst into the box, where he's left completely free. Olise tries to recover, but it's far too late, so he gives up the chase. Mane, all alone around the penalty spot, picks out Sarr, who's drifted in behind Theo Hernandez, completely unseen, and Sarr darts toward goal. He's free as well, but his shot is off target. That was an enormous let-off for France. Across that first half, the attacking momentum belonged firmly to Senegal, but they wasted their big chances. And unfortunately for them, and fortunately for France, the Blues would go on to dominate the second half and take control of the game. That came down to a series of tactical adjustments, which we'll get into right now. First, a positional change. Olise moves inside as the number 10 in Dembele's place, while Dembele takes the right wing in Olise's old spot. Tchouaméni joins them to press higher through the middle, and Rabiot now tracks Camara when he drops in behind the first line. But with every option shut off, Senegal are forced to retreat and clear it long. Rabiot wins it back and takes control centrally, because France are now putting far more intensity into the middle of the park. That lets them overpower the opposition midfield line and launch the counter, though the final pass is overhit. Same thing on this next move. Tchouaméni presses the deep midfielder high, who tries to find a teammate behind the first line. But once again, France's aggression and intensity in midfield are decisive. Koundé traps Mane against Tchouaméni, who's tracked back to box the opponent in, and France win it back high up the pitch, springing Olise for a huge chance. But once more, Mendy saves Senegal. Tchouaméni's role here, pressing centrally, then sprinting back to trap the opponent against a teammate, is really intelligent. That makes central progression a nightmare for Senegal, so now they try going through Diatta on the right. And this is where Olise's repositioning makes the difference, because his defensive work rate is far better than Dembele's, who'd been all over the place in the first half. Rabiot can focus on Camara while Doué locks down Diatta, and Olise drops to seal the central space and block the Senegalese midfielder's run. Olise's tracking covers exactly the gap that used to open up when Rabiot got dragged wide, so he stops Diatta from finding a pass into it while also shutting down the midfield runner, which lets Doué shepherd Diatta backward. Even so, Senegal still managed to break through that first block when Tchouaméni is a fraction late on his man. With a quick parallel pass, they find Camara behind the first line, who then slides Jackson into the box. But again, the pass is a touch too long and the French keeper claims it. Rabiot does outstanding work on Senegal's transitions, shutting down the central passing lanes at the moment of recovery and stopping the ball's progress. But even better, by slowing the opposition down, he lets his teammates recover, win the ball back, and break immediately, releasing Mbappé into the box. Yet once again, Mendy denies them. On top of that, France keep rotating positions, with Mbappé, nominally a central player, now out on the left, then over on the right a minute later off a switch of play, hunting space and a one-on-one. He gets the better of Senegal's left back, accelerates and bursts into the box, but Mane comes flying back in to tackle. The French forward goes down inside the area. The referee gives a corner, but VAR calls him over for a review. He sticks with his original call, no penalty. Let me know in the comments whether you think it's a penalty and the ref got it wrong, or no penalty and he got it right. The pressure keeps mounting on Mendy's goal, and the opener arrives from a move started by Olise on the right. Against the compact block, Dembele finds a small pocket of space centrally. Defender Niakate is locked onto him and calls for help to pick him up. Meanwhile, Mbappé has already started his run in behind. Niakate is completely switched off and never sees what's developing behind him. And in that same moment, the passing lane is opening for Olise to release Mbappé into the box. Dembele's movement carves open the angle, and Olise threads a sublime pass straight through the Senegalese block to Mbappé, who's gone in behind Niakate. Koulibaly is too slow. Mbappé tucks it into the back of the net. 1-0 France. Senegal try to respond with long balls in behind a fairly high French line, especially with the opposition midfield completely free as France's midfield line drops off. But Upamecano reads it perfectly and stops, playing Jackson offside, and even though he finishes, the goal is ruled out. France keep doing the same thing, with Rabiot maintaining his intense, aggressive central press to win the ball back high up the pitch. In the 89th minute, Deschamps makes a change, swapping Dembele for Barcola. And that substitution combines with everything I've just shown from the second half. It pays off instantly. France's aggression and central pressing force Senegal out wide, and they lose it on a Tchouaméni recovery. From the turnover, France look for Rabiot through the middle. As you can see, he's completely free because Senegal's midfield line is totally pulled apart. And on his side, Barcola is already accelerating toward the left. Rabiot drives through the middle. The opposition lines crack open in front of him. The space is wide open. Mbappé peels off centrally toward the left, dragging Koulibaly with him and opening a huge gap between Koulibaly and the left back. Then, as the two cross paths, Barcola instantly changes direction to exploit the space Mbappé created and storms into that channel between Koulibaly and the left back. Rabiot slides Barcola in behind. Koulibaly can't follow. 2 minutes after coming on, Barcola dinks it into the back of the net. 2-0 France. In stoppage time, Deschamps makes several changes, bringing on Cherki to add control late on, especially with Senegal pushing for a way back. But Cherki makes the wrong decisions and gives the ball away cheaply far too often. Off one of those Senegalese recoveries, they wriggle past 5 players down the side to play through the middle and then find Mane on the right. One-on-one against Theo Hernandez, he wins it, drives into the box, and fires it in under the bar. Senegal pull one back, 2-1. But they hadn't reckoned with the genius of Mbappé. A move starts down France's left. Olise is positioned behind Senegal's midfield line, where a combination on the left picks him out. The opposition midfielders sprint back to box the Bayern man in, but the ball still squirms through to Mbappé, who comes to meet it, collects, and immediately turns from around 30 yards. He bends one with his right foot into the top corner. 3-1 France. Nobody saw that coming. An absolutely exceptional goal. To sum up, Senegal had chance after chance in the first half, but couldn't take any of them. And the game finishes 3-1 to France. The scoreline is harsh, but the reality on the pitch is far more complicated than that. Senegal proved they have the weapons to trouble the very best in the first half, but France's coaching and the tactical reset at the break made the difference. That's the ruthlessness of the big occasions. France get their tournament up and running in this opening group game, but Senegal are far from done in this group. So what do you reckon? Was it France who were simply too strong in the second half, or Senegal who cracked physically? Drop your manager's verdict in the comments. I want to see the debate. Until the next video, take care of yourselves. This was Futsal. Ciao.